course, I was going to use my tablet, and all of a sudden, Instagram decided I don't have an account on my tablet. So.
Oh, Instagram does a lot of deciding for us, so
Yeah.
I'll get to that soon too. I want everybody to meet Amy, and here's our friend here. His name is Lazy T Pumpkin. I don't know why he's named that. I did not name him.
And the Grim Reaper right here next to me.
Ooh.
Up too, but that's too much for right now.
So this is I'm so glad you guys were able to pop on. This is the Halloween episode of So That's My Business, where we talk with local or not so local entrepreneurs and brand owners and creatives about their efforts on social media, and not so much, I hate to just say social media, but their digital presence and those kind of struggles or victories. So today I have as my guest Mrs. Amy Balzer-Pemberton. So if you live near Ypsilanti, Michigan, or I think anywhere in the Great Lakes, you probably heard her name or saw her work. She's a locally renowned artist. But actually, our first foray was not in so much the artist in the, the tactical kind of artist, but also she's also my graphic designer. And she's the one who designed this wonderful logo and the brand story behind it. So I started working with her 2 years ago. Well, we made arrangements 2 years ago today. Yeah. Today is our 2-year friend anniversary.
I love that you remembered that.
Yeah, that was the whole magic of it being today. That's why I was like, it has to be on our friend anniversary. We had seen each other in passing, but our actual connection was at the WXW Exchange Forum of 2019. So shout out to all the WXW Forum gals. Been a lot of good relationships that came out of that organization.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So we are going to have a brief couple of chats, so I don't want to hold us too long. Let me give you a little bit more about Amy, because sometimes she doesn't give the whole story, right? So she was an artist, and she worked with clay polymer and was such a crafter that she was able to do it as her gig all the way through college, and she traveled all around Michigan. So that's a few years ago. And then then she started her own graphic design business, Designs with Aim, which was our first connection. And Designs with Aim is its own amazing thing in its own right. So you look at me like, oh, she's sitting out there with a pumpkin, but she made time, even though she is one of the marketing and graphic designers for Pepsi, Frito-Lay, some other huge brands, as well as local big ones too. And so I'm just excited to have her as part of my Business Bestie team. So would you like to fill any holes that I missed?
Well, you forgot the most important thing, that I'm a dog mom. I mean,
how
did you miss my essential to the core of me? So I have he's kind of my dog. We have a Jack Russell Pug Chihuahua mix named Brutus, who's 4 years old and darling and always in costume, even though he really hates it. And then we have an almost 16-year-old son, and he's an amazing little baker. And then I have a wonderful husband too. And we just celebrated our 21st wedding anniversary. And what else?
His name is Bill.
Oh, his name's Bill.
And he also works at Designs with Aim.
Yeah. Along with other things, because he's just like that. He likes to have lots of different things going on. So so our family does a lot of things creatively together. So you know, Bill and I, we have this, you know, our graphic design business, but then we each have side hustles. I have my fairy garden things that Leslie was talking about with the polymer clay. Bill makes magic wands, kind of Harry Potter inspired, and really beautiful leather journals. And then Liam has a little bakery for dogs and for humans. And so, so we've had a really fun year because Liam's side hustle kind of picked up. We taught him how to do that in the past year. And so, yeah, so I'm proud of my little creative family. So,
As you should be. So, and tonight, just a quick plug at Ipsy Glow.
Ipsy Glow.
You want to tell us about your creation?
Yes. So, Ipsy Glow is a wonderful event that happens. I think this is the 4th year in Ipsy. It's put on by the same folks that do festivals and full moon and all that good stuff. So this is the Ipsy edition, and I will have a gigantic gnome home, gnome and mushroom fairy garden conglomerate that is all blacklight reactive, that will be in the windows at Unicorn Feed and Supply on Michigan Ave in Ypsilanti. I believe it's 114 West Michigan Ave. So yes, come on out and see it. It's gonna rain, but it's okay, because once you get so wet, you're just wet, so you can just enjoy and look at all the different things.
I'm out. I'm wearing my costume all day. I'm a scary fairy godmother.
Ooh, I love
it. I'm wet now. It's okay.
So, yeah.
So
it's just today. Today you're just gonna be wet, but you'll get to see all the great things. There's tons of other artists that have set up displays with a bunch of other of the other business owners, other organizations. It's gonna be music. It's gonna be great. So
right. So, and her piece will be on display, or was installed at the Unicorn Feed and Supply store,
where Joy lives. So
yeah, where Joy lives, and she's also part of the creative crew that that has you know kind of fed off of each other. Jen Eastridge, she's doing really good over there. She owns the Unicorn Feed and Supply as well as Stone and Spoon. I'm just really proud of the work that she's done. And we've all collaborated with things.
Yeah, it's been fun to work with Jen on the design side and illustration side, and then also, you know, with the clay. And so she's carrying some of my gnomes and mushrooms, and then next year I will be a very large part of Unicorn Feed and Supply's fairy garden display for next year. So there'll be some special pieces that are just made for their store. So I'm really excited about that. So
right, I'm excited to see how that is going to look, because I know you always like take it 7 levels up.
I have trouble just doing it like just a okay. I mean, obviously, I was like, I'm gonna talk with Leslie. I better get my backdrop. So, yeah. But
so I wanted, so speaking of that, I think just natural, this is a great lead in to a couple of things I wanted to mention today. One is about like the Unicorn Feed and Supply, for instance. The initial connection was to help, I think, with branding and website and stuff like that. And then it moved into a special project that's not to be talked about yet. Right? Hopefully that'll work out. That's more kid oriented. But so all these different things that are going on, and sometimes that's the beauty of having a small business. You get to grow and morph and evolve and be kind of shift as your client shifts, right?
Well, bring in other people that have other talents like you know, to be able to bring you onto, you know, some of those portions too. It's just, I just think that's like, as a female business owner, in this area, I feel really lucky, because I feel like it's just, everybody's kind of in that mode of like, oh, I can bring in XYZ and I can bring in this person, and like everybody can collaborate and everybody gets to shine. And I think that's, I don't know, I think that's kind of the benefit of being an entrepreneur, is being able to kind of, you know, have those kinds of relationships and then be able to bring them to everybody's benefit. So
exactly. And so we've collaborated with clients in the past, in some things it's like it ends up being leaning more towards what Amy needs, and then leaning towards what Amy, offers, and sometimes leans towards me, and then sometimes it goes all the way, like with Unicorn Feed and Supply. Like now it's completely like I'm not really, I can't make anything. Listen, so I'm not in that part right now. But it's really good to make these partnerships and these relationships. I call them business besties or busy besties because they're always busy, right? We were on the phone for 7 minutes earlier trying to figure out how we'd have a 1 hour meeting tomorrow on a Saturday. It's ridiculous.
It has to be here, and my husband's home at this time, and
Yeah. So if it's all about focusing on the client, and focusing on the client really is about focusing on the client, the consumer or the user, right? So that's what I really love working about, Amy. Like, we don't have to agree about everything. We don't, there's no competition, right?
because we're each bringing specialties to the plate together. I think I love that, because like I've often said, words are not my thing, but your words are obviously what you're all about. But give me some graphics that need to be put together, and I'm your girl. So yeah, I love that. Yeah, we both get to bring things that we love to the table, and yeah, then make something.
Right. So I can't see the time because
It's
I'm
15, so and we're supposed to go.
okay. Just thinking about the time because we do both have commitments we gotta get to. They have a half a day of school because it's Halloween for the young ones. So I also wanted to make sure that we tell you about the other big reason why we're on here, which so we wrote a book together.
We did.
So we've been working on it, and it's in its final like editing, fussing about what color is on the bottom margin of page 30. Pretty little details. So that should be out like in the next 24 hours or so. And it's all about, it's called "'Tis the Season, the 2021 Holiday Planning Guide for Brands." And all about this idea of holidays, right? And how you bring that into the space on, an authentic way.
Mm-hmm.
So we know about, of course, Thanksgiving or Christmas or, New Year's Day. We've had those forever, but there's this influx of civic or awareness days or times, and there's also an influx of kind of social media holidays like National Boyfriend's Day or National Son's Day, National Daughter's Day. And so I've seen a lot of dialogue about that, especially this year, where people have said, oh, well, they're trying to get your information, and this is so they can get your child's information. It started 2 years ago during the pandemic. It's all related to, it's like political and all. That's not really so. So the National Sons and Daughters Days, for instance, actually, I believe it was National Daughters Day at first, and then they're like, well, what about our sons, right? And so, so it's been around at least 7 years, because I remember being pregnant with my daughter, who's 5.5, and thinking, oh, I want to put her up for National Daughters Day. And I said, well, it's kind of weird to put a ultrasound up. So I decided to wait a year. Then the other thing is sometimes these holidays are international. So like November 13th is National Kindness Day.
I love that. I love the idea of that all the way around, trying to think of, how I'm going to celebrate that.
So it started out as International Kindness Day. And it's been around actually since I think 1988 or something.
Oh,
It's been around a while, but the United States was like the last one to kind of get on board. And so we've only seen it really being honored in the last 3 or 4 years, right? So you're seeing those kind of trends. So if you're a brand, it's really hard to know, do I recognize everything? Hey, it's National Dog Day, it's National Little Dog Day, it's International Coffee Day, it's International Roast Frappe Day. Like it could get, you get too far distracted. So how I explained it to a friend, another business bestie, Katie. I met with her yesterday. We were talking about these holidays, and the idea is to make it part of your rhythm. So if it's not part of your rhythm, don't mention it. That's the best thing. Just
yeah.
don't mention it. So if it's like Monday is uh, Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, followed by All Souls Day, which started out as a Mexican holiday and is kind of creeping in um, other places in Europe and some places in the United States. The idea of ancestral communication, though, is very much a part of who I am. So when I've mentioned it online, for instance, I discuss, have a quick thing about what it is, but then I just give something to make it relevant to myself. So Amy has, when you're thinking about putting that into a quick graphic, can you give us like what are you thinking about? What's the first tip?
I am always first thinking about a really great graphic or photo, whether it's an illustration, whatever, that's going to catch everybody's eyes. And then I love to think about fonts and color because those are like my two favorite things, other than my dog.
She's gonna say that. She had to put me in school because I get so nervous around color because I love color, but sometimes because I'm self-taught with design, the colors, like when I put too many colors, I don't know how to arrange them. And so what Amy has done for my businesses is to create a style guide
Mm-hmm. Yep.
for each thing.
You have some patterns, you have your fonts that you use. So that kind of gives you a guidebook for like, okay, these are the elements that I can use, but it still gives you wiggle room to get creative on your own. And I think that's the best thing about having a style guide or brand guide is that, yeah, this gives you some parameters, and then, you do with it however you're feeling that day. So I just feel like then you can't really go wrong. And I really like helping clients realize that they have some power too. They don't have to always come back to a graphic designer. There's a lot of things they can do in Facebook and in Canva. And so yeah, so you need to be able to be willing to work with some of the other tools that are out there. But I just always say, don't be afraid of color, because it's just, color can set such a tone. Same with a font that, you pick a really great font for Halloween or for Christmas or whatever, and it helps tell the story in a really beautiful visual way. And it's quick. I feel like your fonts and colors really convey a feeling very, very quickly. So.
Right. And so to piggyback on that, so the question I receive a lot of times is about, what to post for holidays, or they're trying to post for all these holidays. And my thing is to pick, again, going back to the rhythm, pick a few that mean something to you.
Mm.
And make those really nice brand awareness kind of posts where there's something personal there, even if it's just the brand recognition with the colors and the theme. But try to stay away from just like grabbing something off of Google, which I have done. Like, we've all done it. But really, if you want to make an impact this holiday season, everybody, like even Scrooge is looking for some way to get some sort of holiday feel or connection. We're
Yeah.
all looking for connection.
Well, and I think that's one thing that through the pandemic that we've learned is that people are online, so it is really important to put your message out digitally, whether it's on whatever platform or platforms are most fitting to your business and your personality. Um, so yeah, I think it's going to be exciting to see what people come up with this year, and I know I'm always excited about the stuff I'm going to come. I sometimes have trouble sleeping at night because I'm like, all the things I'm going to make this next day, whether it's
Yeah.
or what. Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
I'm thinking about all the stuff I want to complete and all the projects and the people and also the writing that the the dozen poems that are half finished, and I think about all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Be sleeping.
I never thought about you that are like halfway done. That would be, well, I guess I have projects all over my house that are halfway done. So I guess I never think about it with words. I feel like words are so finite and just, yeah.
I even have, so there's different levels of done those. I have the ones that are done, like people said, oh, you should send it out for publication, but I'm like, it's missing something. Like I need like a dash of oregano or something. And then there's the ones that are like, I know that it's like it's really something choppy there. And then there's the ones that I just have the idea and I got like a stanza out and so yeah, definitely.
Creative process,
but anyways,
matter like what your industry is or where your talents are. It's just, yeah, I love hearing about other people's processes and how they get from point A to point B. So.
mm-hmm. So hopefully you have a couple of takeaways. In closing, I will say that we are, excited. We'll be sending out a joint or probably a joint newsletter. Or maybe we'll both send one separate. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. In the next 36 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to make sure you pick up the book. We've been, it's actually just natural for us because we're both holiday people. Like we realize that we both just love holidays. So I think that'll be exciting. Also, the Socialites is officially open. Although, right, I'm still working on some pages. Now that I have Amy and also other business bestie, Mieko, like I have this, like people on both shoulders, like don't put that picture up. It's too, it's not enough pixels, so.
Because sometimes you put something up that's not, if it doesn't look very finished or it's not a quality looking image, that reflects as well. So
yeah, so it's a journey. I did put the website back online, www.letsgofor.com. Designs with Aim is designswithaim.com. And then the Square site, I believe, is Clever Creations with Amy.
Or clevercreationsbyamy.com. Yeah, that's my e-com for my polymer clay goodies. So a lot of coming. So I'm just so happy we survived October because we had so many events this month. We had such just an amazing month, but there were so many fun things to do. And I thought we're never going to survive, but here we are. We're like in the home stretch and everybody's still in one piece. So that's good. But yeah.
Oh, one last thing I wanted to tell our viewers now or in the future is that things will be changing with this series. So I'm still not exactly sure how that's going to play out. One of the things I relied on is the way Instagram TV worked, which was you go live and then you can download it and you can upload it. You can just share it to Instagram TV and pull it down, and I could share it on YouTube, whatever. So they changed that. And so I haven't been able to capture the videos in a real way. So I'm gonna have to do like sit there and edit like with surgical editing for the first few episodes. The second thing is Instagram TV is going away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if I'm gonna go live, I'll probably have to do some sort of streamable kind of thing so that I'm capturing it in more than one place, because this live, they haven't really been clear about where it will reside since there won't be Instagram TV.
Oh.
So everything's changing. And don't get me started on Meta, aka Facebook. We'll talk about that soon. But in closing, we're just glad that you stopped here to see us. And once I edit these videos, they'll be on the YouTube, on both of our YouTube channels. And look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody.
I've been waiting all year. All right. See you later, folks.
All right. Bye.